Welcome to the Party Chat podcast. I'm Peyton here with my co-host JD and Brent. We're here to talk to you today about some fucked up shit. That's what we're here for. You clicked on this video. You're probably noticing a theme in the channel, and that theme so far is fucked up shit, ranging from Fred the movie to Climax. Now, you may think these movies don't have a lot in common, but I disagree. I noticed a lot of similarities between Fred the movie and the movie Climax, which is a French film. Is it French? Belgian?
It's French.
I forget.
It's
French.
French.
Yeah.
What?
And they really.
How could you miss the fact that this movie was French?
No. I thought the production company was like, hold on, I have it in my notes here because I thought it was like funded by like Belgium. It was. I don't know. Because I saw that on the Wikipedia page, and I was like, because it says it was funded by Belgium and France. A lot of Belgian
That's
companies.
weird.
Because I knew the language was French, but I didn't know where it was filmed or anything like that.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it was. Do we even want to talk about our week? I'm just.
I had something like funny to say, but I can't remember what it was after watching that movie. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
I finally
It's
got
vacated in my mind.
my copy of Swiss Army Man on Blu-ray.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a late birthday gift from my mom. There's just one little tiny problem.
It's in Malaysian.
It's in Dutch.
Where'd she order it from?
It's just Amazon.
She
So like,
accidentally ordered the Dutch version.
yeah, she did. There's just like nice little booklet in here, but it's all in Dutch, so I can't read it.
Is
learn
the movie in Dutch?
Yeah, everything's in Dutch. I can't even use it because it's Region 2.
Wow.
But it's cool. I like. This is worth having. It's worth keeping.
So you came on the podcast just to talk about how ungrateful you are.
No,
for
man.
something that
This
your
is
mom got
honestly
you.
the gifts I got.
Uh-huh.
Like I can't
Yeah.
use it, but it's kind of sick.
Although to be fair, I feel the same way because I got a gift for my birthday last year, and somebody got me the Attack on Titan game for PS4, and I was really excited. The whole game's in Japanese, and there's
Yeah.
not an English option for it.
Yeah.
So I do not know how to work it. I am very lost.
I got like the whole Hellsing like anime, like Ultimate. I got it all in like a case. It was with Hellsing, the OVA, like the prequel to Hellsing Ultimate, and then the original Hellsing anime. It came from like Malaysia. It's one of the strangest things I own.
Yeah.
Because Malaysia's a funky
I
place.
had such a rough time watching that OG Hellsing anime.
I don't know why you did, honestly.
It was really boring and really bad.
Yeah. I know why I did. It was because I was drunk off of sleep deprivation. I don't know why
Well,
you did.
because I was like already 5 episodes in, and I was like, I might as well finish it. It's not that long.
5 episode thing is like a thing in anime. If you watch 5 episodes
Like-
and you don't enjoy it, stop watching.
Yeah, but I was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna continue watching it. I want to get through
Wasted
this.
your time.
So
Yeah.
Speaking of wasting your time, watch
I don't know how there's not a segue from
No, there's literally no segue.
there's
I googled dance movies because I was trying to think of like a better dance movie we could have watched, like Step It Up. But the first movie that popped up was Climax. So why?
Yeah, it's 'cause it's the best.
Why?
Daft Punk are a bunch of perverts.
Were they in this movie?
No, I don't think so. Unless they
Their
are.
name popped up on
They were
the
in
Their
screen.
name popped
they were,
up.
They were in
Yeah.
the mid-credit scene, yeah.
Yeah.
I
hate that scene. It's stupid. Why? Dumb. What should we talk? Should we talk about the good thing first or the mediocre thing first?
I want to talk about the good thing first, which is the whole movie. Listen. I get why you guys didn't like the movie.
I didn't dislike.
Yeah, I didn't dislike it. It was
Yeah.
just
Was it just
lot
too
of
much?
things
I was just
happened.
confused as to why you recommended us to watch this movie. I was
It was
confused
the
why it
first
was a
movie that
movie.
popped up. I turned over to look at my shelf, and the first like music-themed movie I saw was Climax, and I was like, "Let's go!" And I immediately kind of regretted it afterwards.
Well, last night I brought up. I was like, "Hey, what if we did Mulholland Drive in the podcast?" You're like, "Nah, we might need a breather here.
We do.
We've been doing a lot of fucked up shit." I'm like, "Okay, that's fair." And then today I watched Climax, and now I just kind of want to
Well,
hit you a
that's
little bit.
exactly why, because I was like, I recommended Climax. I think this is good for now for the fucked up shit.
I want to
Yeah,
watch
I'm gonna talk about the Emoji Movie next week or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Honestly,
Like
I would be
Angry
down to talk
Birds.
about the Emoji Movie.
genuinely
I
would
haven't
rather
seen the
talk.
Emoji Movie.
I haven't seen it either.
Me neither.
We can,
Why would
Let's
we
do it.
all?
Actually, I would
next
love
week
to
we're
do
doing
it.
the Emoji.
I would
I'm
love to
in.
do the Emoji Movie.
Please,
All
go.
right. Well, thanks for tuning into the Party Chat podcast. This was our discussion on Climax, and next week we will be discussing the Emoji Movie. All right, that's it.
Yeah.
That's good. You guys good? Brent, you good? Good.
So this Climax movie, it's very French.
It's super French.
First thing you notice is that this movie here, it's in French.
Yeah.
It takes place in France, and they are very proud to be French.
I
They
picked
have the
up on
French
that
flag
a little bit when I saw the
behind
gigantic
the
glittery
DJ
French
pit.
flag. Yeah, I noticed a little bit of French symbolism.
Yeah.
There.
Did you also notice the thing that said like where they like shouted "Vive la French" or something like that?
You know, I might
Or
have missed
let's
that the
murder
first
these
time.
Yankees.
That was a really subtle little nod to the fact that it was a film. Yeah, appreciated that.
Or the bit where it's where the text pops up on the screen, filmed in France and proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
Did that
Thing is,
clue you in?
Gaspar Noé, the director, isn't even French.
That's like the least
See,
surprising thing.
that's
ever.
what threw me off
That
too.
guy
Is he from Belgium?
Hold on, let me look it up.
Because
I'll tell
why
you
the
right
fuck
now.
does this movie have so much Belgian funding for it to be such a pro-France propaganda film?
It's not a. It's
He's Argentinian.
Is this a Belgian tax write-off or something?
See,
They're
I don't
like,
know
"Hey,
whether
make
he
a
was just
24
born in
movie."
Argentina and then grew up in France, or if he just has never like even been in France.
here's my theory.
It was made by somebody who's never even been to France.
Here's my theory. I think this Gaspar Noé fellow, I think he's a bit of a lunatic.
Oh no, he for sure is.
I prefer the term sicko. Sicko is also a term I would apply to a certain member of this podcast.
Yeah, he has a movie that I haven't seen, but my roommate talks to me about it. That he says it's just straight up porn for like an hour and a half.
Didn't he make something with like a 3D scene in it? You could
so.
censor when I say. It depends on how comfortable with how many times I have to say on the podcast, whether you want to censor it or not.
That sounds about right. That sounds like Gaspar Noé.
You want to have 3 separate blocks of censorship right there? That's fine. If not, it's just me saying a lot.
You know what's a really good word? I don't know how to talk about this movie. I don't know why.
Let's just okay.
I don't know how anyone.
How many times have you watched this movie, JD?
I've seen this movie. I think this is my 4th time watching it.
Okay, what the fuck is wrong with you?
This movie's. I love this movie a lot.
Help?
This movie is probably one of the craziest fucking movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Good way to start it.
Yeah, 10-4.
So this is what was going through my mind while watching this movie.
Yeah.
The first half, like before the drugs kick in, I was very bored and wanted it to end.
Yeah, I was very bored, especially during the interview scenes.
Really?
They ran on for a very long time. The interviews were actually I was interested
when they were filming the TV and the DVDs around it.
Yeah,
I was interested in the interviews because we're introducing characters. That's interesting. And then they just kept introducing more characters. I was okay.
There's a lot of people in this movie.
See, I felt like interviews just went in circles a little bit, but I felt like once they moved past that, the opening scene got me back in. And I like the shit talking scenes. The shit talking scenes were better character development than the interviews.
So what's really funny about this movie is that they started shooting with a 5-page script.
I can see that.
That does not surprise me.
Because this movie is just plot points that happen.
Before like each shot and scene, well, I guess it's really only a couple scenes in the movie. before each shot, he would just talk to the actors, and they would together like make up dialogue right before like he would say action.
Yeah,
So he was
I
like,
didn't
"Oh,
see that.
I think I should talk shit about this guy. Oh, and I think I should go like do this in the back, like in the shot."
And the very long takes, the people aren't really used so much as like plot devices or plot transportation
They're more
devices as they
props.
are literally transportation devices to whatever plot point is going to happen next. Like the
Yeah.
camera
Yeah,
rides the other person to whatever scene we're going to next.
because the movie isn't plot driven at all.
Yeah,
It
it's
doesn't go
not.
from point A to B to C.
It's not really driven by anything but
Just a
the
shit ton of
camera.
like vignettes. Like
It's just driven by this like horrific nightmare that you're just witnessing around this one tiny location.
Yeah.
And the whole second half of this movie, like 45 minutes, is just like
The actual movie.
edited to look like one continuous shot.
mhm.
Yeah.
Which that was done very well.
It was
It
amazing,
looks
yeah.
Kind of this movie to me kind of felt like what it was like to watch Catch Me If You Can.
No, listen, man, this movie it's gross, it's fucked up, it's morally
really.
wrong,
Which is exactly like Catch Me If
and
You Can.
it's amazing.
Not like Catch Me If You Can.
I don't know. The only
Instead
fucked
of
up thing
instead
is
of
the,
following like Leo DiCaprio around the
sauce,
globe doing fucked up shit, it follows a bunch of dancers around doing fucked up shit, and they're on drugs. I think Spielberg could have taken a few notes from this movie, to be honest. Old
Which
Steven.
you could make a movie this good.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg can eat shit.
How did you guys feel about the dancing?
I came
I
to the
am
conclusion in my mind that I could not critique it because I don't know anything about dancing.
yeah, I am the
Well-
farthest.
They were either
Like a
extremely
I
good
don't mean
dance
like
critic.
or bad.
I don't mean like critique the dance. Just how did you, I guess, feel about
Oh, I
it?
mean, it was very visually interesting. Like I liked that part of the movie. I liked the opening
Yeah.
number.
For me,
I
even
feel like-
before the fucked up shit happened, their dancing was kind of still kind of creepy to me. The way they're like dislocating their shoulders, their bodies.
Well, that's just
I
dancing.
didn't like the
though.
way they were popping and locking, JD. That's
They're
just
pop- like they're popping a lot, but it was violent.
that's what they call hip hop dance nowadays. That's what the kids are calling it.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think they should
honestly-
leave like
Some
that,
refer
then.
to it as break dance. Could be wrong there.
The dancing in this movie at sometimes did just feel like moshing. Like people were just moshing. Like I was like, you ever seen those videos of kids at like I say kids, they're probably like 20 somethings at like metal grind concert, not metalcore concerts, and they're like moshing and they're just flinging their arms everywhere.
Mhm.
That's
Oh
that's
yeah,
this
like those
movie-
goth
Yeah.
that goth kids dancing Instagram account. Yeah, it looked
Yeah.
a lot like that to me.
The dancing was
That's
very
moshing.
expressive.
It just felt like moshing.
and more of just like kind of like expressing how they're feeling with their dancing rather than actually having like a planned out choreographed moveset.
Yeah, I understood that.
Especially as the drugs kick in like more and more.
Yeah, I like how like this movie really did just transition to like a completely different movie.
Yeah, which is
Like,
why
as soon as, like-
they
like-
put the credits halfway through and that exact
Yeah.
point between the first and the second half.
Yeah, the I love the title card 45 minutes into the movie. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's
It was-
an interesting one.
but like the first 40 minutes of this movie just didn't really like mean anything. You could have just skipped like to that bit, and I feel like nothing would have been lost.
Well, I feel like the shit talking bit's very important. Like I
Did you-
feel like
you feel
it's
like-
necessary to
I-
establish the characters and give you a little bit of
I think
stake
it's
of what's
the,
going on.
It's important for the second half to kind of like be as good as it is because in the first half you get the setup and you get them
Yeah.
kind of like being normal, I guess normal as they can be, and kind of just interacting with each other. And then as the night goes
Yeah,
on, it evolves and they get more and more.
That's true.
Because
fucked
I
up.
feel like to JD's point, like the juxtaposition of like the calm before the storm would
Yeah.
Yeah.
it greatens the effect of the, no pun intended here, like climax of the movie. Like
Mhm.
if it was just straight like psycho bullshit, like it wouldn't have like hardly any weight to it. Versus like, oh yeah, these are people like they were just here to dance, they're here to vibe, and then awful things happen. Some awful things that are very hard and painful to watch.
Oh
I
god. I still can't look at when she kicks the pregnant lady in the stomach and then kicks her
Yeah.
after.
I was like, that's fucked up.
No, the worst part is when the pregnant lady starts punching herself in the stomach and then start
Yeah,
cutting
and she
herself. I was
starts
like,
cutting,
ugh.
and everyone's just shouting at her to kill herself.
They're like, yeah, do it, which I think is a good metaphor for the internet in general.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't know. During all those scenes, I just kind of was like, I just want this movie to end. I don't really care about what happens. I just kind of want it to end. I just kind of wanted like the first half, I wanted it to end because it was boring. The last half, I wanted it to end because it was like a bad trip. And I
Yeah,
think that's kind of the point.
it is the
The
point.
whole half,
Because
it's just to be like a
a
bad trip.
bad trip does happen in the movie.
Yeah. Especially
This
to an
movie's
entire
literally a bad trip.
Yeah.
My
Not
favorite
Eric Andre's
aspect
bad trip.
of this movie, though, has to be the lighting.
The lighting
Oh,
is very good.
yeah.
The lighting shifts between room, like when he dollies out and he's going to different locations, you just see like the different lights change.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
lights and the colors. That was very visually.
And
This
then
movie
they
was
go.
extremely visually interesting, and
I was waiting for the
stayed that
lights
way
to
throughout
go
the
out,
movie.
and then when it did, I wasn't disappointed. I was tired of that kid screaming. I was just like, turn the lights out.
Oh
I felt
yeah,
so bad for that
Thank
kid.
God.
I felt so
that
bad.
was
I did
hard.
not. I did not at all.
I didn't at first, and then I saw the dead kid shot, and I was like, ah.
Yeah.
Well, I saw his mom banging on the door, and I was like, ah, we got a dead kid in our hands. But I thought that'd be the
Well,
last of it. But they were like, no, lingering shot on the dead kid.
I was wondering if
Yep.
they were going to do that, and they
Oh boy.
didn't. But I was glad that he died because the men shut up.
There's barely a shot in the movie that really like stays still, except for that one
Yeah.
section where they're all talking in their little groups.
Mhm.
Well, and the dancing, like the top down shot of them
Yeah.
dancing. Just I did not. That's when I was like, oh my God, just end this scene.
When they're just because it goes on for like so long.
It goes on for like 20, and the scene before
It's
with
it's like 5 minutes.
it feels like this movie is an hour and a half, and it feels like it's freaking 3 hours long.
Honestly, it
Also,
flies
Catch
by
Me If You Can.
because I think the reason it flies by for me is because it's really divided into different sections. You have the opening dance number, and then you have where they talk shit about each other, and they just talk about just random shit in general, and then the second half, which is just the whole horrible acid trip nightmare that unfolds.
Yeah, I really like the shit talk scene. Besides the cousins, hated the cousins bits.
Oh, you mean like the fucking rapists?
Yeah, well, they're not rapists, but they sure do give off bad vibes. But
Yeah.
they just kept talking. I was like, oh my God, I don't care. They're just talking about boning people. I'm like, okay. Please move on to interesting characters, and they never did because they talked about that for like 5 minutes. Just
See,
kept
for
cutting
me,
back.
I love the conversations. Like for me, it felt really natural and it flowed really well.
Yeah, so I just didn't like the cousins talking so much. They took up a disproportionate amount of time in that scene to talk about nothing.
Ooh, you would hate Richard Linklater movies. That's all talking about nothing.
I really hate people who like. I hate
JD.
talking about nothing. I
JD.
hate it when people mention nothing to me. Like
It took 12 years to make. It took
Oh, yeah.
12 years to make, JD.
I didn't know who Richard Linklater was until Peyton said that
Meanwhile,
phrase.
didn't this movie only take 2 weeks to make?
This movie took 15 days.
Jesus Christ.
They also hired no actors except Sofia Boutella. Everyone else was just a dancer.
Yeah, I like that. They did feel very natural. Again, they were good dancers.
Yeah, I mean, you could never get actors to dance like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they did a very good job acting for just being
They did.
dancers. Like,
yeah, I think part of that was because they made up their own dialogue for the most part.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
They were probably putting a bit of themselves into it.
Like, hey,
Yeah.
This is going to be your first time acting, and you have to write your own script. Go.
Yeah, because they're definitely having fun with it. They're like, oh, what if my character does this now? Or what if he changes his view on like this certain thing on this person? You know.
Yeah, that Oliver fellow.
Oliver?
Olivier, whatever the Frenchman.
I saw the last name
Gopnik.
Sissoko in the movie, and I got a little excited. I was like, I was like Leonardo DiCaprio pointing at a screen in Once Upon a Time. I was like, hey, I know a Sissoko,
I know
and
a
he
little
lets me
Misha.
down regularly.
Yeah, he's pretty bad. We're not gonna get into Spurs though.
Please don't.
So anyway, the Tottenham Hotspur.
This, I think I've already like covered everything I want to talk about this movie. I can't really think of anything else.
I can't imagine how hard this must have been to direct. I mean, for moving people to different locations in a shot where you're not cutting, having to plan out like 20 minutes in advance what you're going to do, how the camera's going to move, where people are going to be, how the lighting's going to change. Like, I have huge respect for the way this was directed.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. I can't say I'm in a rush to just because of all the depressing stuff I've watched lately, but I'm I'm intrigued to possibly learn more about like what else this guy's done.
I'm not.
Like, it's a kind of like a Lars von Trier on steroids type
That's
thing.
what I was
going on.
feeling.
Yeah.
It felt like Lars von Trier, but like French.
Probably better too, to be
Is
honest.
Lars von Trier Dutch? He's Dutch, right?
I have no
I think
idea.
he's just American.
Oh, that's a Dutch name though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is.
Yeah, this entire movie just felt like a home video.
Like a home video. Oh
Yeah,
no, Lars
like
von Trier
something
was
that
born
would be on
he was born in Denmark.
something on America's Funniest Home Videos.
I mean, it's near Dutch ones.
I think somebody should do an overdub of this movie, but with Bob Saget or Tom Bergeron, like providing witty commentary over it.
This movie. I didn't like the mouth breather character.
The mouth breather character.
Yeah, the mouth breather.
Which one's the mouth breather character?
Psyche?
Oh, Psyche, yeah.
Oh, the girl that did
girl
it.
who
I knew it
spiked
was
the punch.
her. I knew it was
Yeah.
her. She gave me bad vibes. She was there. She was there to have fun.
She was just, but she just kind of like didn't do anything. She just kind of like stared at the wall with her mouth open the whole movie.
Yeah, that's how I could tell it was her. Like anytime she was going down, she was in the background, like vibing, like a GTA stripper.
Could you tell it was her when she started pissing on the dance floor?
Yeah.
Okay, well, everybody's been guilty of that once or twice. She gets a pass.
Yeah, it's been a lot of
I've pissed on many a dance floor
lately.
It's been a lot. Okay. Steer that ship back in, JD. Get us back to port. Welcome to the Piss Chat podcast.
I like the daddy character.
Where we take the piss.
Daddy was cool minus him telling that girl to kill herself and to cut herself.
Yeah, at the beginning I was like, I like this daddy fellow, and then I didn't really like him then, and then I was like, I like this daddy fellow again. I liked his skirt.
Yeah.
And then
it was a stylish skirt.
There's the girl with the cool dress that got blood on, and she tried to help people. She was a cool character.
Oh yeah.
The last time you see her, she's like trying to scrub the blood off her body and screaming about the blood.
Yeah.
She had a cool dress.
Yeah, she's like one of the few, like, good people. Well, not good people, but like, I guess
she
have like trying to have a clear head during the trip.
People we don't hate in this.
Silva, Silva's kind of the main character, or if there was a protagonist, it would
there's
be
no
Silva.
there's no real protagonist.
There isn't, but if there was,
No.
it would be
She
her.
was the closest thing.
Yeah. And you can kind of make the case that there's an antagonist, but I don't really think.
Not really,
so.
no. I mean, drugs, maybe.
No, or like Psyche because she spiked it, but I don't see her as the antagonist.
I think they should show this instead of like all the whatever we watched in guidance class when we were.
This is a more effective.
I think they should show this.
Yeah, this is a more effective anti-drug movie than Reefer Madness.
Oh,
yeah. By a country mile.
It made me not want to ever take LSD, although, I don't know, one bad trip. I don't know, if you, like, drugs in moderation and with people who aren't taking them who are responsible, right?
And two drug movies in a row, too, almost. I know that's not a big part of it so far, but
Yeah,
There are trips in both
and
movies.
it's like everything about Climax.
What a lot of group murder movies.
I liked Olivier, the character Olivier, or Oliver, whatever his name was, until he started speaking, and I didn't like him anymore.
Which one was Olivier?
He was the Gopnik, the guy with the shaved head.
Oh,
Got a
David.
swastika on him. His name was. I swear his name was like Oliver.
No, his name was David.
I liked the David character until he spoke.
Well, like I said in the
gay
movie,
guy.
he's just a walking STD.
Yeah. The
He
gay
just wants to
guy.
fuck everything. Yeah, Riley.
Yeah. The gay stripper guy. He was like, my family's very supportive of me. Like, have they ever seen you dance? He was like, no.
I don't want them to.
Yeah. I liked him until he started getting all handsy with Oliver or David or whatever. I was like, he's not gay. Don't do that, man.
The party
Actually,
podcast
I
would like
David
to remind you there is not a single character in this movie.
Yeah, he did. He tried to at the end.
Yeah.
I think Oliver or David was a closeted homosexual.
There's not a single Oliver in the
I don't
movie.
even think he was closeted.
No, he was. He
I
definitely
think
was.
David just wants to fuck anything.
No, he was. He did not. I think he explicitly said, "I don't like them gays."
Did he?
He said something along the lines of that. But I think he was closeted because at the end he was just trying to bone whatever he could get his hands on.
Mm-hmm.
He even went looking for Riley, and then Daddy was like, "No, get out of here." I like the Daddy character. Besides that time he told her the girl to kill herself. Those are the only characters I really liked at all.
Yeah, which I personally, I guess.
I know that's
the
not the point of the movie.
No, but I'm not saying you're wrong. I mean, that's your view of it, and that's correct.
That's just how I look at movies. Is I try to find something to latch on, take me for a ride.
That's the thing. This movie is hard to emotionally connect with.
I try.
So if you're looking for a connection in that way, you're not going to find it here.
Yeah, I don't think that's what it's intended for.
No, absolutely not.
More of just like a spectacle to like behold.
You can tell Gaspar Noé is just like, I just want to make one of those fucked up things ever.
It's just
have like a fun ride.
Yeah, because there's too many people. Like, first of all, to like get like super attached to each character and like wrapped up, because it's more of just just follow along with the camera. Whatever you're supposed to be invested in, it's what he's showing you on the screen. Like, I felt as the issues I had with the pacing at the beginning, I feel like once they get everything in the movie starts clicking, I feel like it clicks very well.
And a big part of the pacing too is how long the shots last, so you really feel like every second go by. But I was with it like the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
The movie started getting. I became like actually started paying attention once the movie actually started 45 minutes into it.
Once the opening credits rolled, 45 minutes in.
And then there's those freaking I hate those like title cards that pop up. I hate those.
Which ones?
The like flat like death is inevitable or death is an experience. It's like
he said death is I forget what quote was
or something. Or an invaluable experience or
like exciting or something. I forgot what it said.
Yeah, and then there's one that's like life is or birth is is potential or something, and those kept popping up. Or at the very end, where you have to flick it, where it was upside down. It's like, why? There's
almost the last like 10 minutes of the movie are upside down.
Yeah,
that is true.
I tilted my phone a little bit, not gonna lie.
Dude, if anyone watched this drunk, they would totally get like a headache from the last like 20 minutes of this movie. Because camera angles are all over the place.
If there's one movie I should never watch drunk, it's this one. Or intoxicated or inebriated in any way.
Just any kind of under the influence of like any substance.
Being tired and watching this movie would be a trip. You should watch this movie hydrated and well fed in the middle of the day.
You could tell that he didn't really spend too much time kind of perfecting shots, I think, of like how many takes. I think he just kind of went with the earlier ones, especially as the movie goes on.
Yeah, I remember I was reading some of the trivia that Prime has, and they said that each shot took like 15 takes, 15 or more takes.
That's actually not that much.
And like 3 hours of shooting.
Yeah.
I mean, still only 15 days of like filming. Like that's did. Did
They
this
also
movie,
said,
I'm guessing it didn't get a wide release, did
Yeah.
it?
What?
no.
No.
You
Not
think
at
the
all.
Ritz and Milan would show this movie then?
I mean, like, where was it? Just like did like the festival circuit, or was it overseas? Because I know it only made it back.
It had
Made
a.
back. It was like a budget of 3 million, and
I
made
think
back like 2 million.
it had a limited release at first in theaters. Then, as it got a wider release later on. But it was never huge. Like it was never going to be like the top billing in a theater.
Yeah, was it ever like? Did it ever make its way over to like New York, L.A., like so it could
Oh yeah.
qualify for Oscar stuff? Yeah,
This is totally like a film festival movie.
Yes.
yeah. See, that's what I figured it was.
I'm
Yeah,
not going to say this movie was pretentious, but it was very
No, I don't think
artistic.
it's pretentious. It's not. You don't think it's artistic?
No, I said it was very artistic.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because it's not
Very
trying to be
blatantly
super
artistic.
deep and try to be like, oh, I'm the super deep thing about life and
Yeah, no.
high art. It's just I want to make this fucked up movie and have fun with it.
Yeah.
But something interesting I saw on the IMDb trivia is that he said he wanted to make this the opposite of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I was thinking about 2001: A Space Odyssey while watching this movie a lot. Because I was
said,
like,
yeah, because in the beginning of 2001 is the apes, and then they turn in, it goes to evolution and turn into humans.
Yeah.
And he said he wanted this to be like humans, and then as the movie goes on, they devolve back into like apes, like animals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was thinking about
Beating each
2001
other
while
up and
watching
having
this.
sex on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Because in 2001, there's a lot of long shots of movies. Very long.
Mm-hmm.
It got me thinking about 2001, because in this one, there's a lot of
Yeah, I remember Peyton,
shots.
you were talking about Kubrick, however many podcasts ago, with how the camera will stay behind a character and just follow them as they go on these long hallways.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is exactly what this movie does.
Yeah.
That's like 50% of this movie.
Yeah, we'll literally follow someone. Then someone else will walk next to them, and then you'll switch over to that person. Then you see what they're gonna do now.
I did like that. I haven't seen that to such a like an extent that this movie relies upon it, but I liked that. I was a fan of it.
Yeah, because that's literally the whole movie.
Yeah, it was. Cause I'm a sucker for like a wide hallway shot. Just damn. But I thought it was really interesting how he used the characters like as a literal like device to take us from scene to scene. Like literally just you have to walk with this person to the next scene. Like it wasn't just a transition. It was like, no, you're going to follow this person, like walk the actual distance in this school to see the next scene.
Because each almost different section of the school is like a different kind of world where she'll go through like the hallway and then we'll see the beaming red light of kind of like the dormitory rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll be completely dark in the tunnel. And then you'll follow someone else back to the dance floor. There's like big music playing, like there's different colored lights in there. Like it's almost like you're going from different worlds and having these vessels like to follow into.
Yeah, there's beginning of the film they mention like a flag and crosses, and how those are weird, and you never see the flag or crosses. I thought those would come up, like some kind of story would form. Maybe it'd be a cult that Spike the Punch, or maybe they'd stumble upon this and freak out or something. But no, there's just apparently a flag, and a weird flag that they've seen too much.
Yeah, this
and
movie
some crosses somewhere.
It breaks a lot of rules. It does not follow narrative structure whatsoever.
There isn't one.
No, there isn't, and I think that's the perfect way to tell the story, if you could even call it that. Just the way to experience the movie.
Yeah. One thing I saw in the trivia was he based this movie on a nightmare he had, and upon watching more of the movie, I could tell, because this movie did just feel like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what's going on, and not like a nightmare as in like, oh, this day's a nightmare, but like a literal nightmare, where everything's just kind of confusing and you don't like it and you just want it to end. That was this movie.
It's also like a nightmare where you're secluded in this one area, and you really don't know what's around you
Yeah.
outside of the school. It's almost treated like, because it's snowing outside, and the shots outside in the snow are almost like a complete like white void, like almost this place almost exists outside of reality.
Yeah. Why did they bring a kid there? What kind of dumb idiot would do that?
Hey, we're doing some kind of weird dance thing. You want to come, Tito? You in? You into
Dude,
this
that
shit?
kid was killing it with his dance moves.
I mean, he was, yeah.
I don't know. I just kind of wanted him to go away.
Yeah.
And they did, and I was happy. But they started screaming about it, and they went away permanently. I was like, okay,
He went away for real.
good. There's 3 things I hate, JD: dogs, kids, and women with attitudes. So why are all
Hate
3 on
dogs?
my are on? Why are all I was? Why are all 3 on my ship?
How the fuck do you hate dogs?
It's a Cowboy Bebop reference, JD.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I
I
don't
still
like
haven't seen
dogs.
Cowboy Bebop yet. It's
It's
on
a
my
good
list.
thing.
It's on my list.
I don't like dogs. I don't like any animal.
All right. Well, do we have any final thoughts on Climax?
I don't really have any thoughts to begin with.
It was a very different experience, and I'm glad I watched something a little bit out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
With it being a foreign language film, which I don't have much experience with, and also just being a completely bizarre, not extremely narrative driven film. But
Mhm.
it was interesting. I don't regret watching it. It was
I'm
a
happy.
Yeah,
it was an interesting experience. I'll remember
Yeah.
it forever, probably. Unfortunately.
I'm glad you
I
guys at least appreciated it.
yeah, it didn't take anything away from me. Didn't really add anything to me.
It didn't rob anything from your soul.
Yeah,
Took my
it,
innocence.
yeah, I don't know. I don't feel any different after watching it.
Yeah, I'll
Like,
just finish. I'll just finish it off by
come and
saying I
see.
like absolutely adore the movie. I respect the shit out of it, and it's one of my favorite movies like ever. That's my
I
final
res-
thoughts.
I respect the crap out of my like dad, but I don't love him. I do love my dad. That was a joke. That's thought it'd be funny.
Can we just have the outro music like cut in right after that? I know we have more to get to, but that's just don't even like keep the
I,
laughing and just
I
right after
just
he says what he says.
I just want to emphasize that I do love my father a lot, and I respect my father a lot.
Hey, man,
I was doing that as a joke.
he
Genuinely,
cooked you
I
bad.
love my dad.
All right, Brent, do you want to take us into Poppy?
Uh, yeah, I wanted to see what you, cause Poppy has like 2 good albums. I think she has other albums, but I haven't listened to them. So
I
she
thought
has
this
2 good
was her
albums.
like second album, so I think she has
I think it
3
is.
albums.
Yeah. Uh, of the 2 albums of hers that I've listened to, I don't. If I find an artist I really like, I tend to just listen to like a few of their albums, unless it's like Death Grips. I don't really want to explore too much. Uh, but Poppy, of the 2 albums of hers that I've listened to, and I've listened to both of them a lot. I Disagree and Am I a Girl, of the 2. I don't know why I'm being like. This is just like a word salad I'm spewing here. I Disagree is probably a lot better than Am I a Girl in terms of like being an album,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
I thought it would be more interesting to talk about this one because this one is a bit more um, flawed than Am I
This
Disagree.
album for me is all over the place,
It is.
but in a really good way. I think it works.
It does.
Do we
Uh,
just want to like hit it track by track?
I'm more interested in like your guys' thoughts. I'm just gonna try to like step out a little bit.
Ooh.
I'm not as good track by track as I am just like overall like
Overall opinion?
vibe and feel of
Yeah.
the album, and
Yeah.
I went in very apprehensive
Okay.
because I had heard um my fiance talk about her like in passing, saying like, oh yeah, she was like a YouTuber back in the day, and like she came out with a song, I think it was like Low Life, something like
Yeah.
that. She was called That Poppy,
Yeah.
and I don't think like this is like my cup of tea because I'm a music like I don't want to say I'm a music snob. I'm just very picky about what I listen to because I don't want to say I'm a snob because what I listen to isn't all
Yeah,
good.
I was about to say.
Yeah, I think we're more snobs than you are, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just very picky because like I have to just like gel with something. Like I can listen to something and appreciate it for what it is and like
Yeah.
not want to like continue to listen to it. That's where I am on like a lot of stuff. But like there were a few tracks on this album that I just straight up vibed with that like I was
Oh
like
yeah,
I actually
Yeah.
like
the
I
first.
enjoy listening to this like it like I know I said I wasn't gonna go track by track. I just wanted to highlight in a minute. That was a good. It's a bit of a bop. Like
Yeah,
It
I
is.
kind of go off
the
of it.
first time, the first thing,
That was good
thing that I
shit.
noticed is like how well produced and mixed it is.
Yeah, that's very uncommon for somebody who started out like as a YouTuber, because I have
She
such a
didn't.
low bar for YouTuber
There,
music.
let's take a little bit of a step back. She wasn't
Yeah,
like
like a
quite a
vlogger,
YouTuber. No, she was
She wasn't a vlogger.
she. It was more of like a produced personality kind of
which
thing.
I think that's very cool though. I because that made me want to go and look back at like some of like the her Poppy AI like things she did.
Yeah,
And
those are
I
really
was
good
Yeah,
videos.
I
yeah,
remember. Yeah,
I very strong vibe with that.
But she wasn't like quite a like when you think of like a YouTuber celebrity, you
yeah.
think of like Justin Bieber. It wasn't like she was filming vlogs in
Well,
her basement of her playing drums
uh,
or nothing.
Poppy just
It
had
was,
this like
you know,
made up personality, and she
yeah.
posts these videos almost
But I
like they're very like deadpan. Her persona wasn't that she was like part like robot or that she could
yeah,
like be a robot.
well that she was like a that she was kind of a product of the internet, like
Yeah,
a
Hmm.
artificial person.
yeah,
But that was all. I'm pretty sure that the whole point of that was to build into a music career. Like it was a
Hmm.
marketing campaign.
Yeah.
Because she has a producer. She did have a producer named Titanic Sinclair, I think.
uh-huh.
But he's a creepy weirdo, and then she dropped him after this album, I think.
Yeah.
He didn't work with her on I Disagree because he was a weirdo. I don't know more
Yeah,
about that outside of he was a weirdo,
Hmm.
um, because I don't like paying attention to stuff like that. Um, but anyway, I just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah, I know very little about that whole situation, but I know she's more of like a metal artist now, from what I've gathered. And
yeah.
she's not as much into the pop persona now, but I did like I because I'm very into the whole I don't know like a proper word for it because the 1975 were very big on it during their brief inquiry era and even their current like era, their albums of the concept of like just I don't know how to word it. Like what is the internet like how the
Right.
internet shapes like who we are now, how the internet is literally wrapped up in every facet of our lives. And
Yeah.
I'm very, very into that whole vibe
Then
and
you should listen
aesthetics of
to
this
"Okay
really
Human" by Weezer.
Let's
because
stay focused on Poppy. Let's not talk about fucking Weezer
no, we're talking about the Teal album next week, Brent.
here.
Here we
No,
go.
I don't want
The
to listen to
Teal album.
Weezer.
All right, no, but when I was talking about the mixing and the producing, all like the mixing was like it felt really whole. Like I felt, I guess not whole, like filled. Like the music was filling the entire like track, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
No, it's
there's
kind of
no
like
like empty space.
it's what they call like the wall of sound
Yeah,
type design. Yeah, that's a very I've become a sucker for that type of music more so than I used to be because I'm only what, like 21, so I'm not too far removed from my years of just Green Day and being
oh
like,
yeah.
oh, real music's just guitar, bass,
Oh
and
dude, that was
drums.
like 3 years ago for me.
But now I'm like, oh shit, like you just know you can tell when an album is very well produced, and this
What?
album is extremely
Yeah.
well produced.
The way that it just transitions as like the album goes on to like that you kind of get hints of that kind of sound where Poppy is going to end up going in the kind of second half of the album and her next album.
Yeah,
which
that's
I really found interesting to see.
Yeah, the whole X being the closer of this album, I think was very clearly intentional to lead into I Disagree. Because X is like the blueprint for the entire I Disagree album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That fusion of pop and metal, where it transitions from it's like a DNA helix of pop on one side and metal on the other.
But,
and I like how she talks about in a lot of tracks about kind of necessarily like gender roles or the way that women are portrayed in media, especially the track "Girls in Bikinis." And she's very like supportive of being yourself, like with fashion after all, just kind of saying like don't bother with what everyone else is saying, you know, just dress the way you want to, be who you want to be.
And that's that movement's gained a lot of steam just on challenging gender norms and gender identity, and just the concept of something as trivial as like clothes defining who you are and what type of a person you are. I really like her aesthetic for that reason too, and like the album artwork and like how she presents herself on stage and stuff. And I think that's very interesting. And I like artists that challenge those kind of boundaries. And, I was a big fan of that.
And then she throws in "The Planet Is Gonna Die and We're All Fucked" song in there.
Yeah.
Oh, every album's got one now.
Which I really like.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
Can I just Poppy's aesthetic is like on point. I watch all of her music videos. I love her like.
It's really fucking cool.
Wardrobe.
Yeah.
The
album cover is awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really know where I was going, but I fucking love her costume design.
I might be thinking too hard about the interlude, at least the first one. But I saw that as like, because you can hear the machine sounds and her kind of saying like, "Oh, I am Poppy," and I saw that as her kind of commentary on how the music industry treats her more of like a machine than like a person, kind of like making her to go out to just like entertain rather than seeing her as a person with emotions. And
well, I always thought of it as it's just transitioning into the bits, the more like. Because the first half, like the album was very distinctively put in like 3 sections.
Yeah.
You have like pre-interlude, mid-interlude, and then after the second interlude. I thought that was just transitioning into like hard feelings, and
I also
that song that you were talking about earlier.
Which one?
The Dead Planet song.
Oh, I'll look it up.
I've listened to this album like
Time Is Up
20 times. Yeah, time is up. I've listened to this album like 20 times.
I also saw
terrible names.
I also saw the interlude as like struggling with her identity and her humanity, because the album focuses a lot about Poppy as like how she views herself and having kind of almost like a crisis on her identity.
Yeah, it's very focused on her, like as a personality and as a person, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's maybe where the machine comes into play too, where she almost feels like a robot with like.
Well, it's because that was her. Yeah, but that was her like personality, was that she was like an artificial person.
Yeah, but I feel like that's part of it too. Is why she chose to have that personality too.
Yeah, maybe I really don't. I don't really read too deep into anything really, but what you're saying.
I might be reading too deep into it, but
I think I know we're staying more in the lane of "Am I a Girl," but I think she really kind of became more aggressive with that, and I don't really blame her about rejecting the norms of how like women are portrayed like in the music industry, with like how much music like record labels really control that side of things. And like even on this album you could tell like with the cover, like I really like the cover to "Am I a Girl," like I think it's cool, but they still, you can't help but wonder if they were like, okay, we'll give you like, there's always some kind of give and take, like, okay, yeah, you can make it black and white, blah blah blah, but you still need to look very feminine, you need to look like a girl, you need to look petite. And the complete rejection of that with the next album cover almost seems like a statement on that as well.
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna do what I want, like I'm not gonna just be some pretty girl, like I'm gonna do what I want to the album better.
Yeah, I really like that about Poppy, how she's just like unapologetically herself.
But also like completely artificial. Strange.
Uh,
Because
it,
like that
it's
was
like
her
intentionally artificial.
Yeah, that's the point. But like
Yeah.
it's very it almost creates a dynamic of you don't know if she's speaking for her personality, like her artificial personality, or if she's speaking from herself. You guys continue. I just wanted to hear you guys speak about this album.
No, I really I don't know how much more I have. JD, you have anything else you got on Poppy?
I just wanted to bring a point about Chic Chick. I saw
Chic.
Chic Chick about how that song, she's like, yeah, like I'm gonna be who I want to be, and you can like suck my dick.
Yeah.
As she literally says in the song.
If you don't like it, suck my dick.
Yeah. No, but she generally has bangers, and her hooks are like really catchy. I was singing like X a lot after listening to this album.
Yeah. This whole album's a banger besides Aristocrat.
Yeah.
Aristocrat's the worst album. Like, I fucking hate that song.
I don't hate it, but it's definitely one of the weaker tracks.
I think it honestly brings the whole album down. If it weren't in it, the album would be a lot better. I have a whole playlist on Spotify that's just this album, but it takes Aristocrat out. I did listen to Aristocrat for all. I don't think I'd ever actually listened to the entire song until today, because I do not like that song at all. I really hate the reggae, like the pop reggae, like sound.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. I hate it so much. And the like lyrical content of the song isn't really in line with anything else on the album. It's really out of place, that song. I feel like it was like it's probably like single bait for like radio stations, because reggae, like pop, was real popular around when this album came out, I think.
Yeah. I remember when I was listening to this, and a Play Destroy came on, and I was like, am I listening to Poppy or System of a Down right now? And I was digging it. I was like, I didn't know Poppy had this in her, and it was awesome.
Yeah, Poppy and Grimes. Grimes makes some bitchin' music too. Some.
I'm gonna dive a little bit more into her stuff and a little bit more into I Disagree. I'm gonna do that over the next week.
What were your guys' favorite songs on the album?
I think the one I listen to the most is Still in a Minute, just because sometimes, like, whenever I first get in my car, I'm like, I need to put that song on. It just gets my adrenaline going. I'm like, I feel like a bad bitch listening to it.
That's what I feel like during this entire album.
I think my favorite track is Hard Feelings.
Hard Feelings is very good.
I just love how she's just talking about, I guess my final thought is just about her identity, not really crisis, but kind of figuring herself out, and kind of while also challenging gender norms and gender roles that I really respected about Poppy.
Yeah.
It's just super interesting to listen to.
Yeah, my favorite is Am I a Girl, for that reason.
Yeah, when she's literally like, sometimes I feel masculine, sometimes I feel feminine. Don't overthink it. Don't label me. Like, I am who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Girls in Bikinis. Those are my two favorite songs. Girls in Bikinis, it's such a bop.
It is, yeah. Girls in bikinis and roller skates in outer space. I'm excited to see System of a Poppy on the next album.
I Disagree. I Disagree is very, very good.
Yeah, I want to listen to it. I'm hyped.
My I just want to, like, Poppy's aesthetic it's too good.
Yeah,
like, I can't like overstate how cool Poppy is. I abhor the word stan, and anyone that associates themselves with that word. But if I didn't, I would
abhor me, Brent?
Poppy. You a stan, Peyton?
I'm a stand for certain things.
You a 1970 stan?
I am very much a 1975 stan. I will unapologetically. I'll own up to that.
I'm a Brockhampton stan.
Yeah, I'm a slut for Matty Healy. I really am. Anything he writes, I'm all for.
The hell was that?
I don't know what that was. I hear somebody. Just don't Don't look into it,
It
guys.
wasn't me.
Is the kid
Yeah, it
from
was
Climax in your attic, Brent?
No, that was on Peyton's end.
No, that's Brent.
I don't have an attic.
Brent, don't put this off on me.
What are you guys hiding children in like your
It's
basement?
Peyton.
Anyway, don't look too much into it. Anyway, thanks for listening. We're talking about the Emoji Movie next weekend.
Yeah, I'm a Poppy stan. I love Poppy. I even watch her like makeup tutorials because she has makeup tutorials.
Kind of want to. Yeah, in a minute, kind of made me want to do my makeup too.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening to the 6th episode. Damn.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to believe we've been doing it this long already.
I know.
It's like
right?
6 more.
I didn't think this was going to get past the first episode.
Here we are.
But join us next
along.
week when we talk about Daughters, You Won't Get What You Want, and the Emoji Movie.